Hello, and thank you so much for joining me for Faithful Fridays. What a blessing it is to be alive and well and here to be able to jump on and talk to you about just how much of a faithful Friday, how great of a week it has been. If you're in the Midwest, we're trending absolutely beautiful weather on today. I think between today and Sunday, we're expecting high 80s, at the most 90. So if this is your disconnect, get out and do something that your future self will thank you for. This was an absolutely fantastic week for me to sit back, relax, and absorb. This week for me started off with just give it some time. Like most things, we just have to give it some time. Give it some time to work itself out. We get so wrangled up in our emotions at times where we refuse to give it some time. I know because I've been there. The first quarter of this year for me was all about practicing patience. Patience is powerful, guys. Patience was something that I struggled with for years. If things didn't work out my way, I would snap. I mean, literally snap. Silently, loudly. I would literally lose my cool. And for me, I sabotaged a lot of relationships due to my lack of patience. So what does that mean? We have to understand what patience is and what it isn't. We have to learn to be a good listener. We have to accept those things that we can't change because unfortunately, there's going to be some things in life you can't do anything about. We have to practice being mindful. We have to learn to slow down. Identify what triggers your impatience. Get comfortable with feeling uncomfortable because you're not going to be comfortable all the time. Keep a journal for those moments where you do snap and you do lose it and write down what could you have done better. And then most of all, research has shown us we have to stop multitasking sometime. Contrary to what many believe, trying to multitask, even though it can help you to save some precious time, get more done, achieve your dreams. In reality, trying to prioritize too many tasks at once, we can spread ourselves thin. We really can. There's no possible way for us to give equal attention to every task. So something ends up falling to the wayside. Multitask can force us to move too quickly from one task to another. And we might expect others to move as quickly as we do. And so forcing others to rush can put a bad taste in their mouth and a bad taste in how they feel about us. Sometimes we just got to take a break. We got to take a break and we got to leave that thing alone for a while so that it doesn't develop or place us into a mode of being impatient. On the opposite side of things, if you work from home, sometimes you may need to get up and do some physical activity. You may need to go outside and, take a walk, for when you find yourself getting impatient, just to get away from the norm. Do you ever find yourself experiencing some of those major shifts in your emotions? We've already, mentioned about being mindful and journaling, which can help with, your bodily sensations when you start to physically feel impatient about some things. When you feel that frustration begin to rise, try to calm yourself down. Get into a place of being optimistic. Get out of the negative mindset. Try your hardest to get out of the negative mindset, especially when you feel uncomfortable. Trying to find the positive or the positivity in those daily annoyances can help you to feel more patient and less stress. Last but not least, just read more. That's one thing I am a big avid on, making sure that I'm reading. Reading helps to take your mind to a place that maybe you've never been, or just from the space that you're in. It's good. It helps you to learn a lot of things, and don't rush through reading. Take your time so you can comprehend that thing that it is that you're studying on or that you're doing some research on. Also this week I was captured by a sermon by Rock City Pastor Darius. He spoke on a few different nuggets. Some of the few that had caught me, one was being bitterness. I felt that bitterness was in direct correlation with impatience. Bitterness is the result of unprocessed anger becoming your attitude. The pastors also talked about bitterness and what it does to us. Bitterness hardens our heart on the inside and it changes our features on the outside. Flat out, bitterness can make us ugly. He also talked about, people having a place in your life, everyone having a place. However, everyone shouldn't have the same place. Different seasons going to require different seats. And man, did that speak volumes for me. It really did. Because it helped to understand why God has been shifting so many relationships in my life over the past few years. He talked about how people can be good and that just because a person is good doesn't mean that they're good for you. You hear it all the time, but I'm a good person. We have to have people in the right place in our life and make sure that they're operating in the right place. People are either going to make you better or they can make you bitter. You can't place people in positions just because you like them or because of history or because of the notoriety that they can bring to that relationship. You have to make sure that they're a good fit. When you have the right people in the wrong place, ultimately they're going to make you bitter. It's going to lead to disagreements and even fallouts. Ultimately in relationships, you're either getting bitter or you're getting better. So choose wisely. He talked about how people are just pushing us forward or they're holding us back. And I don't know if you're like me. I don't need to be in any relationship that's holding me back. I need people in my life that are forging me forward, that are challenging me, that are motivating me, that are encouraging me to be my personal best. I ended this week just studying on the subject chase. What is it that you're chasing? Whatever you chase, it gains your full attention. The chase can leave us feeling insecure when we don't get what we want. The chase can leave us feeling unsettled because even though we obtain a thing, we move the needle and we move it some more. Instead of being grateful for what we've already accomplished, we start thinking about getting more. The chase can leave us feeling disappointed as well because that thing we thought that we were chasing was going to make us happy, it doesn't. This week came back in full circle when I found myself just reading an excerpt about grabbing your lifeline. It talked about it being very important that when you pray, govern what comes out of your mouth. Have you ever prayed for something only in faith, only to hear yourself talking about how impossible that thing was going to be that you were believing for? I have. And I'm saying it's got to stop. When you do that, those are blessing blockers. This is a sign that the answer has not been downloaded into your spirit and that it's time for you to get back into prayer regarding that issue. Again, guys, it is an absolutely beautiful day here in the Midwest. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. For the guys, we will be out in the community. We will be a part of Block Party Volume 7. We are extremely happy about it. So if you're not doing anything, if you're looking for something to do, come on out and see us. I leave you with, like I say every week, make sure when you're out that you're shining your light. Your transparency is leading to so many others being transformed. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I don't take one view, one like for granted. I hope something that I'm saying or the experiences that I'm sharing with you guys is helping to change your life. We are so much better when we work together. We are so much stronger when we look at things in a positive light. So I leave you with, I will see you all again on Monday for Monday Motivation. Until then, stay safe and I will see you soon.